Welcome to this exciting deep dive where we explore the fascinating and unexpected world of rare coins, and today's star of the show is none other than the seemingly ordinary yet astonishingly valuable 1986 1-penny USA coin, a coin that in normal circumstances would be worth just a single cent but, due to a unique combination of rare errors, minting mistakes, and intriguing mint mark anomalies, has achieved an eye-watering valuation of approximately $0.786 million, making it a prime example of how tiny details in coin production can transform a simple piece of metal into a treasure of unimaginable worth, and as we journey through this story we will uncover every possible angle that could have contributed to such a massive leap from face value to staggering collector's prize. Starting with the fact that 1986 was a transitional era in US penny production where the mints were still relatively fresh into the copper-plated zinc planchet era introduced in 1982, which opened the door for certain mistakes during minting, from planchet errors to die misalignments, striking issues, doubled dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchet strikes, and rare repunched mint marks, each of which could individually command a premium. But when several such anomalies occur together on a single coin, the result can be astronomical in value. And it is believed that this particular 1986 penny might feature a perfect storm of these factors, starting perhaps with a planchet anomaly such as an off-metal composition, where a leftover copper planchet from pre-1982 production accidentally made its way into the 1986 striking process, instantly creating a rarity due to its heavier weight and distinctive ring when dropped, and such coins are highly sought after by collectors because they represent a tangible mistake in the transition between eras. But that's just the first layer, because alongside the composition oddity there could be a double die obverse, where the die used to strike the coin was improperly prepared, resulting in the date, lettering, or Lincoln's portrait appearing doubled under magnification, and double die errors, especially bold and dramatic ones, are among the most beloved errors in the hobby, fetching huge prices at auction depending on clarity and rarity. Yet this coin may also exhibit a misaligned or rotated die, giving Lincoln's portrait a slightly skewed position relative to the reverse, which not only catches the eye but also further distances the piece from ordinary mint output, increasing its desirability. And then we arrive at one of the most intriguing aspects for seasoned numismatists, the mint mark error, which in 1986 could be either a missing mint mark entirely when one should be present, or a repunched mint mark, RPM, where the letter indicating the mint's origin appears doubled, tripled, or otherwise malformed due to manual punching practices of the era. And since mint marks are among the key identifying features for serious collectors, an RPM or missing mint mark on top of other visible errors exponentially boosts a coin's market value, and if that weren't enough, this 1986 penny might have a spectacular strike-through error where a foreign object like a piece of cloth, wire, or grease became lodged between the die and the planchet during striking, leaving an indented or unusual pattern across one side of the coin, adding yet another layer of rarity. And when you combine all these potential errors, wrong planchet, double die, misaligned die, mint mark anomalies, and strike-through, you end up with a numismatic unicorn, a coin that shouldn't exist but somehow slipped through the rigorous quality control at the US Mint, survived in circulation, and eventually surfaced to shock collectors with its uniqueness. And the story doesn't end at mere identification, because the valuation of $0.786 million is also tied to factors such as condition, provenance, and market demand, meaning this coin was likely found in an exceptional state of preservation, possibly graded by a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher, with blazing luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks, making it not only rare but also visually stunning. And provenance plays a role because coins with a documented history, especially those featured in major auctions or owned by prominent collectors, carry a premium due to their traceable pedigree. And then there's the market factor, where intense bidding wars between passionate collectors can drive prices far above standard price guides, which seems to have happened here given the nearly $750,000 hammer price. And what makes coins like this so captivating is the sense of mystery. How many more such errors might be out there hiding in jars, drawers, and old collections, overlooked because to the casual eye they look just like any other penny? And yet a single coin can hold the potential to change someone's life financially, a fact that fuels the treasure-hunting spirit of the coin-collecting hobby, inspiring thousands of enthusiasts to closely inspect every coin they come across. And the 1986 penny in question serves as a perfect ambassador for this thrill, reminding us that even the smallest denomination can hold a story of craftsmanship, oversight, and chance, all wrapped into a tiny copper-plated disc that has traveled through hands, pockets, and cash registers before ending up as one of the most valuable modern-era US cents known, and while the exact origin of every error on this coin might never be fully proven without metallurgical analysis and mint records, the convergence of so many distinct anomalies on one piece defies the odds to such an extent that it becomes almost a legend in the numismatic community, whispered about at shows, featured in high-profile sales, and analyzed in specialist publications. And the moral here for collectors and casual viewers alike is that attention to detail can be richly rewarded, because whether it's the sharp doubling on a date, the absence or peculiar shape of a mint mark, the unexpected heft of a coin in your palm, or a subtle design misalignment, each clue can signal the presence of something extraordinary. So next time you handle a penny, especially a 1986 issue, take the time to give it a second, third, or even fourth look, because as this record-breaking example proves, you might just be holding not a 1-cent piece but a near $1 million masterpiece born from the fascinating intersection of human error, mechanical imperfection, and numismatic passion. Friends and coin enthusiasts, to an exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare coins where small pieces of metal can hold stories worth millions, and today we are diving deep into the captivating tale of the 2006 1-penny USA coin that has astonished collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike, because despite its humble 1-cent face value, this particular coin has been valued at an astounding $0.86 million due to a remarkable combination of errors, mistakes, and mint mark anomalies that set it apart from the billions of other pennies minted in that same year. And this is not just a story about a small copper-plated zinc disc, but about the magic that happens when history, craftsmanship, human error, and numismatic passion collide in such a rare and extraordinary way. So let's begin by understanding the year 2006 in the context of US coinage, because this was a period where the US Mint was producing large quantities of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been in circulation since 1959, honoring the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and this design itself was widely recognized across America. But what makes a single coin from that year command nearly $1 million is not the design itself, but the irregularities introduced during its creation and circulation. Now, in the world of coin collecting, there are several categories of minting errors, including planchette errors, die errors, and striking errors, and each of these can range from minor and almost unnoticeable to dramatic and one-of-a-kind, with the latter often fetching astronomical prices in auctions and private sales. And in the case of this particular 2006 penny, experts have determined that it exhibits a combination of multiple rare anomalies, making it a numismatic superstar, starting with the mint mark error, because mint marks indicate the location where a coin was produced, such as P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. And in this case, the coin bears a mint mark that appears misaligned and partially doubled, a telltale sign of a minting mishap. But what is extraordinary here is that the doubling is not just a typical machine doubling often seen in worn dies, but a true doubled die mint mark, where the punch used to apply the mint mark shifted slightly between strikes, creating a crisp yet slightly ghosted secondary impression that is visible even without magnification. And such a feature instantly elevates a coin's rarity, because the minting process is tightly controlled and mint mark errors are far less common in modern coinage compared to earlier hand-punched eras. And alongside the mint mark issue, this 2006 penny also presents an extraordinary die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies came into contact without a planchette between them, leaving faint mirrored outlines of Lincoln's portrait on the reverse and parts of the Lincoln Memorial on the obverse, which is an unusual and highly sought-after error, especially when it is as clear and well preserved as on this example. And adding to its uniqueness, the planchette itself appears to be an off-metal strike, possibly intended for a foreign coin, or struck on a transitional alloy planchette with weight and composition slightly outside the standard 2.5 grams and copper-plated zinc formula used for modern pennies. And such off-metal errors are extremely rare and instantly pique the interest of collectors who know that the US Mint occasionally produces coins for other nations, meaning that a mismatched planchette finding its way into a penny press is both a fascinating and valuable accident. And further examination by professional grading services has revealed that this coin was struck slightly off-center, approximately 5%, which, while not an extreme misstrike, is enough to leave part of the design close to the rim with a noticeable blank crescent, giving it an appealing visual oddity without detracting from the major design elements. And this combination of off-center strike, doubled mint mark, die clash, And possible off-metal composition is what drives the extraordinary value, because each of these errors is rare in its own right, but together they form a perfect storm of collectability and desirability, and when coins like this appear they become the centerpiece of high-end collections, often triggering bidding wars at major auctions where passionate collectors and investors compete fiercely to own such a marvel. And the provenance of this particular 2006 penny only adds to its mystique, because it was reportedly discovered in a small mixed lot of coins purchased at a flea market by an unsuspecting hobbyist who initially kept it in a jar with other loose change before noticing its oddities under a magnifying glass, and after consulting an experienced numismatist the coin was sent for authentication and grading, where it was encapsulated and assigned a top-tier mint state grade, preserving its condition for generations. And experts have since noted that the coin's sharp strike, brilliant luster, and minimal handling marks suggest it was never widely circulated, making its survival in such pristine form even more remarkable. And in the broader context of numismatics, such discoveries are a reminder that valuable treasures can still be found in everyday change, and that the thrill of coin collecting lies not only in owning pieces of history but in the possibility of uncovering something extraordinary where others see only the ordinary. And in this case, the $0.86 million valuation is not arbitrary but grounded in documented auction results for similarly unique error coins, which have fetched sums in the hundreds of thousands and in rare cases crossed the $1 million mark, especially when the error is both visually dramatic and technically significant. And beyond its monetary value, this 2006 penny tells a story about the precision and occasional fallibility of the minting process, the dedication of collectors who study and preserve such artifacts, and the enduring appeal of coins as tangible connections to our shared history and culture. And as we reflect on the journey of this coin from a production line in a bustling US mint facility to a prized possession in the numismatic world, we see how tiny variations in metal, machinery, and human oversight can create something truly irreplaceable. And for those new to collecting, this serves as an inspiration to look closely at your change. Examine every detail from the mint mark to the edges to the color and weight, because you never know when you might encounter a once-in-a-lifetime find that could change your life. And for seasoned collectors, it is a reminder that the next great discovery might be waiting in the most unexpected place. And so the 2006 1-penny USA coin, valued at $0.86 million, is more than just currency. It is a symbol of rarity, curiosity, and the extraordinary possibilities hidden in plain sight, just waiting for the keen eye and curious mind to uncover them. And whether you are drawn to it for its historical significance, its beauty, or its astonishing market value, it stands as a testament to why coin collecting continues to capture the hearts and imaginations of people all over the world, bringing together history, artistry, and the thrill of the hunt in one small but incredible package, where the smallest piece of change in your pocket could secretly be worth a life-changing fortune. And today we are going to dive deep into the unbelievable story of the 2014 1-penny USA coin that has shocked collectors, historians, and treasure hunters across the globe, because while its face value is just 1 cent, it has been valued at an astonishing $0.90 million, making it one of the most extraordinary modern coins ever to come to light. And this jaw-dropping value comes from a combination of factors, including extremely rare minting errors, unique mistakes during the production process, and mysterious mint mark anomalies that set it apart from the billions of other pennies minted in the same year. So if you think every penny is just worth a penny, think again, because in the world of numismatics, where rarity, condition, and uniqueness are the 3 pillars of value, such an error coin can rise to unimaginable worth. And the 2014 penny in question tells a story that begins in the US Mint's high-speed production lines, where blanks are fed into presses to be struck with the Lincoln design. Yet somewhere in this process, a combination of mechanical mishaps and human oversight created something that would eventually be classified as a numismatic marvel. For example, one possible reason for its immense value is a double die error, which occurs when the die used to strike the coin has been improperly prepared, causing the image or inscriptions to be slightly offset and duplicated, a flaw that is not always visible to the casual observer but sends collectors into a frenzy because the demand for dramatic double dies is always high. But in this case, reports suggest the doubling on the obverse side, particularly in the words, "In God We Trust," and the date, 2014, is crisp, clear, and unmistakable, adding layers of intrigue and rarity. Yet that is just the beginning, because another contributing factor is believed to be an off-center strike, where the design is not perfectly aligned with the coin's edge, leaving part of the planchette blank and shifting the image in a way that makes the coin look almost surreal, which drastically limits the number of similar coins that survive quality control. But perhaps the most compelling aspect is the mint mark error, a seemingly tiny detail that can change everything. And in the case of this penny, the mint mark appears to have been either misplaced, missing entirely, or stamped using the wrong style for the year, and such anomalies are incredibly rare because mint marks are carefully regulated to indicate where the coin was produced, with a 2014 penny typically bearing a D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, yet in this coin's case, the mark deviates from the standard in a way that suggests either an outdated die was used or a mechanical shift occurred during striking, and to seasoned collectors, such details are gold mines because they provide direct evidence of the coin's unique path through production, making it irreplaceable, and when you add to this the fact that the coin has been preserved in exceptional condition, possibly even graded at the highest levels like MS-69 or MS-70 by professional grading services, its appeal skyrockets, as high-grade error coins are exponentially more valuable than worn examples, and in the feverish world of coin auctions, where bidders compete for rare treasures, it is not uncommon for such a coin to exceed even the most optimistic pre-sale estimates, which is exactly what happened when word spread about this particular penny, sparking bidding wars among collectors and investors who saw not just a coin, but a tangible piece of history and a rare chance to own something that no one else could match, and beyond the specific errors themselves. The value is also fueled by the story and mystery surrounding its creation because coins with unusual backstories tend to generate far more interest, especially when the origin of the mistake is unclear, leading to speculation, theories, and even myths about whether it was an intentional test strike, a rogue mint employee's experiment, or a sheer accident of fate. And as these theories spread through coin forums, YouTube channels, and collector groups, demand rose even higher, demonstrating how numismatics is not just about metal and design but about storytelling and human fascination with rarity. And to truly understand why this coin commands nearly $1 million, one must consider the broader market trends where certain modern era coins, though rare, have outperformed expectations due to intense competition among high-net-worth collectors seeking to complete unique sets or secure investment-grade examples, and the 2014 penny's appeal is further enhanced by the fact that it is from the modern Lincoln Shield cent series, a design still in circulation today, meaning anyone could theoretically find one in pocket change, which fuels a treasure hunt mentality and draws new collectors into the hobby. And this accessibility, combined with the vanishingly small odds of finding such an error, creates the perfect storm of demand and scarcity. And while skeptics may question how a coin with a face value of 1 cent can be worth $0.90 million, the truth is that in the collector's world, value is determined not by metal content but by rarity, desirability, and the stories attached to each piece, and the combination of double die obverse, off-center strike, unusual mint mark, pristine condition, and the buzz generated by its discovery all work together to create an asset unlike any other, one that bridges the gap between everyday currency and high-value collectible. And when placed in the broader context of famous era coins like the 1955 double-die penny or the 1943 copper cent, the 2014 penny stands as a modern counterpart, showing that even in an age of advanced minting technology, mistakes still happen, and when they do, they can capture the imagination of the world, inspire treasure hunts, and even change lives. Because somewhere, in jars of change, drawers, or piggy banks across America, other rare era coins may still be waiting to be discovered, and for the lucky finder, the reward could be life-changing, just as it has been for the owner of this spectacular piece. So the next time you get a handful of pennies, take a closer look at each one because you never know when you might be holding a tiny copper-plated treasure worth hundreds of thousands, a reminder that in the smallest details often lies the greatest value. And that the story of the 2014 penny is more than just a tale of money, it's a testament to the enduring human fascination with rarity, the thrill of discovery, and the possibility that extraordinary things can hide in plain sight. This exciting deep dive into the fascinating and surprising world of rare coins where sometimes what looks like a simple everyday piece of change in your pocket can actually be worth a staggering fortune. And today we are going to talk about one of the most incredible stories in modern numismatics, the 2017 P1 penny USA coin that has been reported to be worth an unbelievable $0.89 million due to a series of unusual and rare factors involving errors, mistakes, and mint mark anomalies that have transformed it from a standard 1-cent coin with almost no spending power into a collector's dream with a market value that can rival the cost of a luxury home. And this is not an exaggeration because in the world of coin collecting, rarity, condition, historical significance, and era uniqueness are the driving forces behind value, and the 2017 P penny has all of these factors intertwined in an extraordinary way. So let us start from the beginning because in 2017 something happened in The United States Mint's production process that was unlike any other in recent memory, as for the first time in over 2 centuries since the original minting of the Lincoln cent, the Philadelphia Mint decided to place its mint mark, the letter P, on the penny to commemorate the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint. And while this was intended as a special but relatively common commemorative feature, in certain cases a combination of minting errors turned some of these coins into incredibly valuable rarities, and one particular example of such a coin is the 2017 penny in question that sold or was valued at $0.89 million because of multiple overlapping conditions, starting with the mint mark anomaly itself, which in some rare strikes was double punched or misplaced, either slightly off-center or in a position inconsistent with normal placement, and then combined with planchette errors, meaning the blank copper-plated zinc disc used for the penny had imperfections such as clipped edges, wrong alloy mix, or even lamination peeling that made the coin stand out from ordinary examples. And to make matters more extraordinary, the coin also displayed striking errors where the die used to press the design onto the blank either had cracks, was misaligned, or struck the coin multiple times, leading to doubling of features on Lincoln's portrait, the date, or the lettering such as "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," and even the reverse inscriptions of "United States of America" and "1 cent" along with the Union Shield design. And in the rarest instances, these combined flaws create what collectors call a multiple major error coin, which is exponentially more valuable than a coin with only one type of error. And when you combine that with the historic context of the 2017 mint mark being a one-year-only event, you have a numismatic jackpot, because in coin collecting history certain one-year issues or unique varieties have skyrocketed in value over the years, especially when they are preserved in pristine condition or show dramatic minting mistakes that are visible to the naked eye. And this particular coin was reportedly in such exceptional uncirculated condition that every detail of the errors could be clearly seen under magnification and verified by professional grading services, which gave it an ultra-high grade, possibly MS68 or higher, which is near perfection for a business strike coin. And in the marketplace of rare coins, this combination of extreme rarity, error, complexity, historical significance, and top condition creates a frenzy among high-end collectors and investors who are willing to pay astronomical amounts to secure such a unique piece for their collection. And while many people might wonder how a single cent could be worth more than many luxury cars, the answer lies in the fact that rarity and desirability in collectibles do not follow the same logic as normal consumer goods, because once a serious collector wants a one-of-a-kind coin, the bidding can escalate far beyond any intrinsic metal value, which in the case of a penny is less than 1 cent, and here the metal content of copper and zinc is irrelevant compared to the numismatic premium driven by the coin's unique combination of features. And what makes this story even more fascinating is that the 2017 penny was the first penny in US history to bear the P mint mark from Philadelphia, since the mint traditionally did not put any mark on coins struck there except for certain collector issues, and the decision to add it in 2017 was purely commemorative but unintentionally created a collectible surge as people began hoarding these coins thinking they might gain value over time. However, among the tens of millions minted, only a microscopic fraction emerged with the dramatic errors that could command life-changing sums, and this particular $0.89 million example stands as the most extreme case, leading to increased interest from both seasoned collectors and everyday people checking their pocket change hoping to find a similar treasure. And this phenomenon is not new in the numismatic world, because we have seen similar jumps in value for other coins such as the 1955 double-die cent, the 1943 copper penny, and the 2004 Wisconsin state quarter with extra leaf errors, each of which became famous for its rarity and story. But the 2017 penny case is special because it combines a historic mint mark change, multiple striking errors, possible planchette defects, and exceptional preservation, all in a coin that is only a few years old, making it a modern rarity with the kind of allure usually reserved for century-old coins. And the chain of events leading to its creation likely began during a production run when a slightly damaged or worn die was installed in one of the presses at the Philadelphia Mint, and rather than being replaced immediately, it continued striking coins, producing dozens or maybe hundreds with varying degrees of doubling, off-center strikes, and other anomalies. And in one special instance, the coin blank itself may have been defective before striking, which added another layer of uniqueness. And when this coin left the mint and entered circulation, it was likely spotted by someone with a sharp eye, or perhaps it was discovered in an unopened mint roll by a coin dealer or hobbyist who immediately recognized its potential and submitted it for professional grading and authentication, which is essential for commanding top dollar, because Without expert verification, the market would not trust such a high valuation, and once graded and confirmed, the coin entered the high-end auction market where competitive bidding between wealthy collectors drove the price to an astonishing $0.89 million, and the publicity surrounding such a sale only fueled further excitement and speculation in the coin collecting community, with more people scrutinizing their change and sharing finds on social media and coin forums, leading to a modern-day treasure hunt where ordinary Americans and even people abroad began specifically looking for 2017 pennies, especially ones with any visible error, and this surge in popularity caused even minor error examples to rise in value, although nothing came close to the multi-error masterpiece that fetched nearly $1 million, and the implications of this are significant for both collectors and the general public because it shows how important it is to pay attention to details in everyday objects. Since something as ordinary as a penny could turn out to be a rare and valuable artifact of minting history, and it also demonstrates the unpredictability of the coin market, where sometimes modern coins can become overnight sensations if they possess the right combination of rarity and demand. And for the US Mint, the event served as a reminder of how even in a highly controlled and technologically advanced production environment, human oversight and mechanical imperfections can still create remarkable and unintended outcomes that end up celebrated rather than condemned in the collector community. And as we consider the long-term future of this coin's value, it is worth noting that such a piece is likely to appreciate further as it becomes even more famous and as other examples remain undiscovered or are lost to time, making the known specimens all the more desirable. And if history is any guide, rare coins with compelling stories tend to hold their value or even grow over decades, especially when they are tied to a unique event like the 225th anniversary mint mark change. So whether you are a casual change checker, an experienced numismatist, or simply someone fascinated by the quirks of history, the story of the 2017 penny worth $0.89 million is a perfect example of how sometimes the most extraordinary treasures can be hiding in the most ordinary places, waiting for the right pair of eyes to recognize them and bring their story to light.